Hi, I'm Steve from Forestry England. I'm the White-tailed Eagle Project Officer, and today I'm going to try and show you how to make one of these fantastic origami eagles. So hopefully it'll be a great way for you to be engaged by a project and inspire you to go out and learn a little bit more about these fantastic birds that we're looking to return to southern England. So last summer we started a 5-year release programme, hoping to release up to 60 white-tailed eagle juvenile birds here on the Isle of Wight, with the intention of trying to establish a breeding population in southern England for the first time in 240 years. You can find out a little bit more about the project on this page, but you can also look up our social media channels for the latest updates and the latest blogs. So that's at Sea Eagle England and at Roy Dennis Wildlife Foundation. And you can also find a lot of the frequently asked questions we receive on the Roy Dennis Wildlife Foundation page. Right, we'll get cracking making our origami eagles. Okay, to fold your origami eagle is actually quite simple. There's only a few steps involved. First things first, you need a square piece of paper. So I'm using origami paper, but you guys don't need to use that. You can cut down a piece of A4 or a piece of A5, whatever you might have. But it just needs to be square. So this piece of paper, for example, is 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters, and it's two-tone, which makes it kind of easy to see where your folds are going. So the first step is to make a central fold right across the middle, corner to corner, and you do it on a nice flat surface, and just make sure that central fold is nice and strong. Open it back out, and then turn it over, and fold across the other middle, point to point, so you can see the inside of your first fold on top. And again, make a nice solid fold down the middle. Okay, you should have something that looks a bit like that. And then you've got this point down the bottom here. If you take that, lift it to the top, fold nice and cleanly again along the bottom, and you should see now that you're starting to see two wings either side, and you're starting to get this body with a head and tail in the middle. So next step is to take the top piece of this triangle and bring it down to the bottom and fold along, so this will form the tail. And then to make the head, we take this top piece, well, the new top piece was the bottom piece, fold it down once, and then bring the new point up, fold again. So I think mine's going to be very slightly wonky. So that's the start. So now you should be able to see there's a head and tail, two wings and a body. So first things first, for making it a little bit more clearer, is to fold that middle crease back down. So now you should be able to see that middle crease is really well defined. And then you need to make a sort of top. So when we look at one of the completed ones again, you can see there's sort of a nice sort of clear body, I guess. So to make that, we need to turn it so it's front way up. So in this case, you can see the white's on the bottom and green's on top, and you just bring that wing in along the edge so it folds along the body. Do it again on the other side, so both wings fold in. Okay, and then it should kind of look like an eagle. Mine's slightly wonky actually, but you get the idea. And then you can decorate it any way that you choose. So this one's got quite a big tail actually. I mean, you could trim it down if you wanted, or you could have another go. And then it's got a small beak. There we go. Right, so when it comes to decorating your new origami white-tailed eagles, there's lots of different things you can do. Perhaps the simplest thing to do is to simply draw on some faces and draw on some feathers. I'm not the most artistic of people, as you probably can tell, but I just used a Sharpie to draw on a couple of different designs on a couple of these guys. But for those of you a little bit more craft talented and artistic might decide to do something a little different. I don't know what you might do. You might get a box of crayons or a load of colouring pencils and paints and do something quite cool, or you might even decide to stick some feathers on and really make these look like real birds as opposed to sort of, I guess, kind of square eagles. You might choose to put on a nice hooked beak. There's lots of resources on the internet and on the Roy Dennis Wildlife Foundation website, on Sea Eagle England social media, lots of images of white-tailed eagles that you can use to help decorate your origami eagles. But you could choose to, say, I don't know, cut out a load of feathers and stick them on. This is my pretty poor effort at putting a few feathers on this eagle. And then when it comes to decorating the face, in this one I'm just going to get a permanent marker and just draw on some nostrils and draw on a couple of eyes. A bit scary, aren't they, really? A couple of eyebrows, more cartoon and realistic, slightly off-centered face, and then just draw on a couple of feathers for the tail. But you can do it any way you like, really. It'd be really good to see some of your guys' efforts. If you want to share them with us on the Sea Eagle England Twitter and Instagram, or the Roy Dennis Wildlife Foundation Twitter, that'd be great.